Hi, I'm Loretta Rose, and today I am on location in Phoenix City, Alabama with CTV Bean. And today we are gathered here today for the investiture of Judge Zach Collins. We are elated to be a part of this wonderful ceremony that is about to take place. So I am going to share with the community and enlighten you more about who exactly is Judge Zach Collins. So thank you for tuning in, and this is going to be a great show today. Hello, Mr. Judge Zach Collins.
Hey, Mrs. Rose, how are you?
Great.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I am so very proud of you.
Thank you so
I got to say it. How are you feeling in this very moment with what's about to happen when we step out of this room?
I feel real excited about to be sworn in for my term as District Judge of Russell County. Right now I'm currently serving as the District Judge and the Family Court Judge. I was appointed by Governor Robert Bentley about 2 months ago, and so I've had the opportunity to get my feet wet already, and now it's time to start my term, and I'm excited about it.
Well, you should be.
Yeah.
You should be. And you are so passionate about what you do and about
Absolutely.
servants and
Yeah,
others. And for someone that is watching or probably listening, and they're probably like, who exactly is Judge Zach Collins?
Yes.
Who is this guy? You know, there are many titles. Many people wear a lot of titles, but a lot of time people don't know who they are behind the title.
Yeah.
So for those that want to know exactly who is Zach Collins, how can you best describe him?
Just a good old down-to-earth young man from Columbus, Georgia, born and raised in the Bi-City area. Left and went to Montgomery and opened up a practice there, but I'm the guy that you could just walk up to and have a conversation with. I love people and just enjoy serving and helping folks. So I'm just the average guy, nothing more than that.
And you are absolutely that. I had the opportunity to hear you last month at a community event that I was a part of,
Yes.
and you came as the guest speaker.
Yes,
And when people saw you come in, they were like a little on the edge, like the judge is here.
Yeah.
But when you got up and spoke, by the time you came off that podium,
Yes.
everybody was like, he's a real guy.
I'm real. You know, you can't forget where you came from,
Yes.
and you can't forget how you got there.
That's right.
And the one thing about me is, you know, I'm no better than anybody else. I get to put on a black robe, but I don't have to let folks know that I'm the judge. And so when you do that, you create division and separation. And I'm just, you know, I want everybody to approach me, and I'm very approachable, and I just enjoy folks. So, yeah.
And that shows in your service to others. Also, someone probably want to know, okay, you're Judge Zach Collins, you're attorney Zachary Collins. Now you're Judge Zach Collins. But what was your transition period? People may want to know your then and your now. How do you get from then to now? I'm pretty sure it was a road, a process, but people want to know, you know, like, where did you start out at?
Yeah. And like I said, I started out from the south side of Columbus.
South side, yes,
south side
me
of
too.
Columbus, yeah. I went to Baker High School, which is, as you know, no longer in existence.
Yes.
But, you know, I came from nothing, really. And I had to work really hard, but as a child, I was always an overachiever. I always wanted to be the best at whatever you know I got involved with, whether it was athletics, whether it was academics, whether it was entertainment, and now whether it's the law. Anything that I've gotten involved in, I've always wanted to be at the top of my game, so to speak. So it was a long road, a lot of successes, many more failures. But you know, you pick yourself up from your bootstrap and you make it happen. So I'm here now, and I'm ready to serve, and I'm excited about this opportunity.
Wow. Well, you know, I love that because, like you say, you started out on South Side and you went to Baker High School and you was an awesome athlete. And you turned down a lot of different opportunity with colleges and things like that, as far as sports-wise. And you went into the Air Force.
That's right.
And went to college. You're a writer, songwriter. A lot of people don't know all that good stuff about you. And I read your bio, and it's very, very impressive.
Well, thank you.
Well, with all of the success that you've had, What has been your driving force that to help you obtain, this moment?
Because things have been rough for me, and I was able to overcome. I want to be a light, a beacon of light to other folks, to other young folks, and just people in general. For example, I'm on the family court, and I've had some difficult times myself personally, and I don't mind sharing that with folks. But for me, those are the kinds of things that drive me to try to make divorce and custodial situations better for other folks, because I've seen some of the damage that has occurred, not just with me, but other folks. And so I just want to help folks to understand that there's a different way of doing things. And if I can do that in any way, and if I can use my experiences to do that. In fact, it's the reason why I went to law school to become a family court judge, so that I can, help other folks to maybe, not go the same rough road that I went. And, we can't fix everything. We can't save the world. But if you can inform and enlighten folks and somehow, be a beacon of light to someone else, that's all God asks us to do, right? That's it.
Wow. I am so impressed.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you so much.
You are a success story. You are definitely a success story. And the champion has always been there. I heard you where you said, you was always an overachiever.
Yes.
So, no matter what obstacles or what challenges came, you still strive to overachieve that had presented itself to you. Now, if you could go back and talk to your younger self, or it may be a young Zach Collins watching, it may be a parent that has a Zach Collins watching, what would you tell that younger self?
Well, it's amazing because I do have that one Zach Collins, and his name just so happened to be Zach Collins Jr. And my son, when I look at him every day, he's 8. He reminds me every day of who I was. And my mom says that, this was you. And what he does for me now, though, is he has such a kindred and kind-hearted spirit that rubs off on me. So when I look at him now, it helps me to, go forward and be an even better person than I am now. And so he's my hero. He's an amazing young man. So I get to look at the young Zach Collins every day, and so
that is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're such a role model. You are such a role model. With your time as serving as judge, are there any goals or accomplishments that you desire to achieve?
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do. As I talked about a few minutes ago, I want to create a co-parenting component to the family court, because a lot of the problems that young folks have in our community really stems from their parents not getting along, not so much the home environment, because believe it or not, there are a lot of dads that are really involved in their children's lives. But when the parents don't get along, that rubs off on the kids, and the kids go to school and they get out in the community. And so what I want to do is create a co-parenting component of the family court and lean on parents that even if you can't work out, your relationship can't work out, you got to do what's right for the children. I also want to create, and I'm developing a program that I call a Self-Awareness Summit. And that's for high school students to introduce them to different opportunities and workshops that will allow them to excel. Not just lectures, not just people just coming and talking to them, but I want to get some athletes, because I have some connections in the athletic world, some professional athletes, as well as some entertainers, celebrities, to come and talk to folks and give them some real insight on how to be a gentleman and things of that nature. How to budget your money as opposed to going out and just buying the latest Jordans and things of that nature. So I want to equip these young folks with some real tools, and I want to partner with the schools and with the DHR and domestic violence groups to to create a better Russell County. And so I'm ready for that work.
Well, we want to say congratulations
Thank you so
again.
much.
And who is going to be swearing you in today?
Judge Michael Bellamy, one of my mentors and someone who's a great judge for this community. He's been on the bench for well over 30 years, I believe. And he's somebody that I aspire to be on the bench as well. Somebody that's just as approachable just a wonderful man, and I look forward to serving with him.
Wow.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
So proud of you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Just
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
Repeat after me. You say your name first.
I, Zachary T. Collins Sr.,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Alabama,
and the state of Alabama,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
so long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and honestly
and honestly
discharge the duties of district court judge,
discharge the duties of district court judge,
for which I am about to enter,
for which I'm about to enter,
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Judge Collins. Love you.
First and foremost, giving honor and glory to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life. Without him, I would not be here. I want to say thank you all so much for coming from here and there and everywhere to spend this time with myself and my family on behalf of my wonderful mom and my son and my aunt and my beautiful fiance, my beautiful daughter, my cousins, and all my family members. I want to say thank you all so much for coming. I wanted to just kind of talk with you for a while. I sometimes get in the habit of preparing a little speech or something, and I got something right here, and I may turn pages from here and there, but I like to talk from my heart. Amen. So if I go off topic a little bit, I'll come back, but I like to speak from my heart. As Judge Bellamy stated, I've been serving on the district court bench for 2 months already, and Governor Bentley appointed me, and I can't tell you enough how humbled I am with some of the cases that come before me, and it gives me a unique perspective on the problems and the difficulties that a lot of folks go through. And many of you know this, some of you know this, some of you may not know this, but in addition to all these other things folks say that I am, I'm also a screenwriter and a filmmaker. As a matter of fact, Judge, I'm going to Sundance this week, so I got to take one day off if you don't mind. But as a writer and filmmaker, I love to create stories with words and with pictures. And I'm writing a screenplay right now called The Privilege. And it's a courtroom drama about a jaded criminal defense attorney that's never lost to the U.S. Attorney's Office. And she's tough and she's fierce. And this character's name is Tony Ferris. And Tony just doesn't really like her clients. She believes that all of them are guilty. She can't empathize or sympathize with any of her clients. And it really doesn't matter because her job is just to hold the government to its burden of proof. And so she can't really relate to these clients until she gets indicted for the murder of one of her law partners. And another one of her law partners convinces Tony to allow him to represent her because he wants to create this attorney-client privilege. This is something in the law we have because he's trying to conceal the fact that he's the one that murdered the other law partner. And so throughout this movie, Tony has to solve this case and crack this case and prove her innocence. But guess what? She changes at the end. Because now the true privilege is she knows what it's like to be a client. And so as I stand here today, I have a unique insight into the lives and the problems and the difficulties that the folks that come before me, that they have. Because I too understand what they've gone through. Because I've too gone through some of those problems. I've had a lot of tough times in my life. And so a lot of times when people are running for office, you wonder what somebody's going to try to dig up and this, that, and the other. And, but we all have problems. Nobody's perfect. And so I don't stand here today as a perfect man, but I do believe, based on my experiences and the things that I've gone through, that I'm the perfect man for this job. Because who better than someone who's gone through a custody battle, who's had to sit on that stand, who's had difficulties in the past? Who better to be able to sit in that chair and judge without sitting in judgment? And that's where I come from. And so all these kind words that folks have said, when I reflected on my speech, a lot of them are in here. There are a lot of attorneys that are practicing before me right now, and I want the Russell County Bar and the State Bar, the Alabama Bar, all the attorneys that come before me, I want you all to understand that I'm very passionate and compassionate and have a lot of compassion about the people that come before the courts. And I understand what everyone goes through, from the lawyers to the clients, to the clerk's office, to the probation officers. I care about everybody in the court system. And so as I sit on this bench, I'm certainly going to be very mindful, very considerate about everyone that I serve. Today is not just about me. I've already been sworn in. And so I could have said, well, I've been sworn in and, let's just move forward. One of the reasons why I wanted to do this investiture is because I wanted to publicly thank all of you. Because everyone in here, and I've scanned the room and I see a lot of folks that have had an impact on my life. Every last one of you have had some impact on my life. And I wanted to personally say thank you so much for your love, your support, your messages, everything that you've done for me over the last 20, 30, 40 years. And so I struggle with whether or not I should call names, but if I do that, and I don't want to leave anybody out, right? But y'all don't mind me doing that, right? Because y'all know it's not personal. I just might not be able to get to everybody. But there's a lot of folks that I just want to publicly thank for helping me be here. And it's in no particular order, but I just try to scan the room and be as briefly as I can. There's a man named Ken Israel. Wave your hand, Mr. Israel. His wife Rose and their daughter, my goddaughter, Candace. When I was in law school, as Sarge stated, I was working full time and had custody of my girls and had to go to law school. I met Mr. Israel, and he helped me and took my girls in when I had to go to class. Didn't charge me a dime. If it wasn't for Ken and Rose Israel, I would not have been able to complete law school. I want to publicly thank you for everything that you did for me. To Dan and Inette Dixon, I call them my pops.
Don't start.
I call them my pops. Because, I got a couple of pops. I got Mel Lone, that's my pops too, Dan and Inette also helped me with the girls during law school. And I am always in debt and gratitude for everything that you all have done for me. Dr. Comer, back sometime in 1998, I believe it was, October the 8th, Dr. Comer baptized me in the Holy Spirit. Now, I know that doesn't seem like a long time ago, but it happened, and Dr. Coleman has always been there to support me, and I appreciate you, Dr. Coleman. Who else do I see? I see Lance Gould back there, who was my boss when I was in law school. And I would always wonder why Lance would always just kind of lean on me real hard. Zach, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I was like, man, this guy doesn't like me. You know, I never told you that story, Lance, but but Lance was prepping me to be the lawyer that I am today. And for that, I appreciate it, Lance. To Darryl Parker, who tried he and I tried our very first criminal trial here in Russell County. I appreciate your support. So many folks I can thank. Judge Ford, you are absolutely right. I remember when and y'all just don't, please, just bear with me. I just like to thank folks, because you have to let folks know how you really feel about them and that you really appreciate them. So you have to tell them. I really appreciate your accepting me in your court when I was a young lawyer and giving me that word. But most importantly, how you and Judge Bellamy, the temperament that Juliana talked about, that temperament came from you and Judge Bellamy. So I want to publicly thank you. I certainly can't forget my mom, who I tell this story quite a lot. When I was in law school, and I was a computer engineer, and I had to get ready to study for the bar, and I was making a lot of money, and I had to go, and I went to work for Lance over at a big law firm, Beasley Allen, and I had to take a pay cut because I needed that opportunity to study for the bar. And my mom went back to college on the GI Bill to get that money to make up the difference in what I was going to lose. So when my mom needed me to come back, I came. So Mom, you know, you probably get tired of me telling that story, but yeah, thank you so much. To my campaign team. Where's my campaign team at? Everybody stand up, wave your hand. Now y'all noticed something, right? There's a lot of ladies stood up. Now, not because I wanted to be surrounded by the ladies, but you know, women make things happen. And I want to publicly thank, because they don't, you know, I try to thank them, but Lakeisha Miller, you were the first person I asked to help me out. And you didn't know what you were doing, and neither did I. But look at us now. And you accepted the challenge. And I really appreciate what you did for me during this campaign trail, during my campaign. Lynn, who's now my judicial assistant, thank you so much for everything that you've done. Cicely, Sonia, Tracy, Ms. B. Okay. I just want to thank everybody for all of the love and support. And Mayor Long, my other pops, the unofficial mayor of South Phoenix City, as they call him, for taking me in and supporting our efforts. And I just owe you a lifetime of gratitude and debt. I want to thank my daughter, Sierra, who's here. Such a beautiful young woman. She's just grown to just be a hardworking young lady. I'm just so proud of you. To Lil Zach, who has his hand up right now because he wants to talk. I wonder where he gets that from. And how could I forget, and I never will, my lovely fiance, Brianna, who in the middle of this campaign just came in and just helped us take it to another level. She's always been supportive and always been there for me, and I know she gets tired of me saying this as well. The Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. And on May 21st, we're getting married. And I can't wait for that. In closing, I just want to say this. As district judge, I oversee the family court. So some of the things I want to do for the family court, I want to create a strong co-parenting component to the family court. And for me, it's important. It's personal, but it's important because a lot of the young folks in our community, some of the problems that they have, the reason why they're not going to school and running rapid and breaking the law, a lot of times has to do with the parents not getting along, pitting one another against each other. And so part of my job and my goal is to establish a program that will facilitate separated parents to get to working together. We don't have that here in Russell County, and I pledge to establish that. I also want to organize a self-awareness summit for our high school students. What I mean by that is, a lot of times we have programs and things of that nature for our young folk. They come to and we lecture to them and we talk to them, but they leave and they don't really get anything out of it. I want to create something stronger, again, called a self-awareness summit, where young folks come before leaders of the community, athletes, professional athletes, celebrities, influential business folks, and give them workshops, one-on-one, hands-on contact to allow them to excel and give them the eagerness that they need to go out and be productive citizens of this state and this country. So I have several things that I do want to do, and in closing, most importantly, I want the legal community to know, and the stakeholders, the folks that service the legal community, to know that I'm going to do everything I can to allow us to work together, collaboratively, for the best interest of the folks that come before the courts. I'll certainly do that with honesty and integrity, with hard work, commitment, passion, and compassion. Because I truly believe that I have a unique opportunity to listen and to allow folks to be heard, so that when folks come before the District Court of Russell County, they know they've been treated fairly. Even if I don't agree with what they say or what they want me to do, how I should rule, they'll get a quick and decisive decision, and that they'll know that they've been treated with fundamental fairness. So I really appreciate everyone for coming here today. Can't thank you enough. Judge Bellamy, thank you so much for your leadership. And you didn't convince me to come down here, but you know, you didn't discourage me. To Mayor Lowe, thank you so much for your support. Commissioner Reed, Sid Darty, and Calvin Parker, thank y'all so much. Judge Gaines, I appreciate it so much. Monica Arrington, thank you so much. And my buddy Stuart Wilbanks, who is in the wrong profession, by the way. He should be a comedian. Amen. See what I'm talking about? Stuart and Sarge are my best friends. And these two gentlemen have supported me in anything that I've sought out to do. And I want to thank you all publicly, Sarge, for just being my brother. And Stuart, for being my brother. And little Zach, is there anything you want to say? Okay. In closing, I just want to thank you. I really wanted to just publicly thank everybody for your support. I look forward to serving Russell County. I look forward to bringing fundamental fairness to everybody. Thank y'all so much. We really appreciate it. God bless y'all. Thank y'all.